Hey y'all, how are you? Hi Patricia. Hi Christina and Natalie. How are y'all doing tonight? Hey Kelly. What have y'all been doing today? I have not been doing much. It's my son-in-law's birthday today and helped my daughter clean the kitchen up because, they got all the new stuff in the kitchen and his parents were coming just for a short visit and she wanted it to look really great. So we spent the morning cleaning the kitchens and the bathrooms and gardening. That's fun. And they couldn't stay long. Mike's aunt, his mother's sister's not doing very well, and they didn't want to be too far away. They live down in the Jonesboro area, which is really, it's on the other side of Atlanta. And so they just came up for a quick visit, didn't even stay for lunch or cake or anything. But they've missed seeing Liam. They haven't been able to be up in a while, so that's what we did today. And I've been sorting things in my room, which you guys know when you try to clean something up, it just makes a bigger mess. You just make a mess because you're trying to reorganize things. So that's what my space looks like right now. So tomorrow and Tuesday, I'm going to box things up to go ahead and take over to storage and get some things out of the way. But that's what we've been doing. I wanted to show you guys some of the things I'm going to have on Wednesday and Saturday. I'm going to spread it out across both days because I know everybody won't be able to be there for both, or maybe they will, and it's okay. It'll just give you time to think more about things. I picked up some of these papers. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and they're not cheap, but I was able to get 2 of everything except this white one with the gold script. It does make a mess, and you can see it's a kind of a cream with gold. And these are wrapping papers, and so they're 20 by 28. And I thought what I would do is cut some of them in half so they would be 14 by 20, which is a fair size, and then cut more up into 10 by 14s. So they'd be easy to package and ship and easy to work with. So I couldn't get 2 of these, and I couldn't get 2 of the coffee. So I've only got 1 of each of those. But I did get 2 of the peacock feather, which I thought was really pretty. And 2 of this feather that's nice and colorful. And I thought these would make wonderful end papers. I got 2 of these, which is kind of a teal, and to me it looks like a teal and a really dark green right there. I'll take them out on Wednesday. I'll have some of them cut by then. And then I thought this one was really pretty too. And I think I've seen some napkins similar to this. So I've got those I'm going to have ready. I went last weekend to a little antique mall. I had to go over and puppy sit my daughter's dog and make sure she was able to go out and go potty because my daughter was going to be really late getting in. And there's an little antique mall called Queen of Hearts that I stopped by and just walked around in for a little while. The first booth that I stopped at had these. I'm going to bring you down. I'm not going to bring you down, but I'm going to bring you lower so you can see without me having to hold it up in the air. So this one's 1900, and this one's got a little bit of issue on the side here with the cover, but the pages are in really awesome shape. They're not all torn up around the edges and that kind of thing. And there's 1 or 2 I know there's one. There may be two really pretty color plates in there. A lot of fashion and that kind of thing. And then a lot of ads. So these are in really great condition. Be careful with that one. It's got the cover loose. That's 1900s, and then I've got 1904. And it's, you know, again, it's got a little bit of issues on the spine, but you can see the edges are in really great shape. A little bit of foxing on the back of this one. They got some really, really pretty things in them. And then here is a 1907. Well, I have, I think about 18 to 20. I've got to decide which ones I'm going to keep. And then I gave Sherilyn and Katie get dibs on one because they are always there for me to help me with modding. So I'll have at least 18. This one is September 1907. And again, it's, you know, the spine shows a little bit of issue, but all the edges are in really great shape. I mean, I walked by that booth and I saw these, and the price wasn't bad. So it wasn't, you know, fantastic, but it wasn't bad. It's going to start at 7 o'clock. That gives me a little bit of time to get some things done after Liam's mommy and daddy get home. So these are all in just really great shape. Now this one that I just put down, let me show you. It's got a little bit of discoloration on the back and a little bit of, you know, distress there, little corner torn off. But most of these are in really, really good condition. And here's October. The covers are loose, but still in really good shape. But you can see that it's loose. And I only took those out. These are still in bags. So I know there's a glare, but I'll show you those that way. I didn't want to take them all out of the bags and have to move them around a whole lot. So let's see. This is May 1915. Let's see, I think we went from 07. That's 1913. Come on, they move it around. Where are you? Number 4. We know it's December. Oh, there it is, very faint, December 1907. So we go from 1907 to 1913. What did I say this one was? I think 17. May, no, 15, 1915. Look at the color on that. And the spine is in pretty good shape on a lot of these that are a little bit newer. This is 1915. Hey, Karen, how are you? Oh, Karen, before I forget, because I meant to send you an email. Your boxes are going to go out tomorrow. I tried to get them out the other day, but what I realized is those 2 yearbooks are really heavy. And, you know, they were one of the last things, that last box. So what I'm going to do is take everything out of the boxes and shuffle things around. So it's not so, none of them are extraordinarily heavy. You know, they're not going to be light, but that with the 2 yearbooks in it, I think it's just too heavy. And I didn't want to put that burden on John picking those up. So I just wanted to let you know so you wouldn't be wondering. This is July 1915. Hey, Lisa. I'm showing off the McCalls Magazines. Now, this one has a sticker issue where they put something on there and pulled it off. I hate it when people stick things on. She had the price. She had all these in bags and had the prices on the bags. This one is 1915. This one is September 1915. Oh, yes, it's Karen Jack. Sorry, Karen Jacksonville. I'll be getting yours out tomorrow, too. I've got 4 or 5 of the last ones that I've got to get out. But I was thinking Karen Jacksonville. This is January 1916. So we'll take all of these out and look through them. This is August. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest thing? I just love it. Hey, Lucy. How are you? Oh, and wait till you guys see this one. Isn't that pretty? This is September 1916. I still have more. But like I said, I've given Katie and Sherilyn dibs on choosing theirs because they're always there to help me. This one's October. This one's really pretty too. No, I haven't. I'm going to auction a couple of the older ones, and then we'll see the interest. And they're going to be between $22 and $26. I thought that one was really pretty. And then here's another cutie one with a child. And this is December 1916. I just love that one. They won't be any higher than that. Even I'm not going to let an auction go high on these. It's nice when something goes crazy, but then I always feel bad. I don't know why, but I always do. This is January 1917. So, and I've got a couple of other magazines I'll show you in just a minute. February 1917. She got her skates. She must have been out skating. March. And then this one is April. $1917. And then for some strange, bizarre reason, I must have picked that up and I didn't realize it when I was paying for everything, and it was late. They were closing and I had to hurry, so I wound up with that one too. So just one of those little strange ones. I thought I might see if my son-in-law wanted it, just for kicks and giggles. But let me show you the other magazines. And I've been going through some of my books, and I found this one. And what I like about these is they don't have the really glossy images. This one is a little glossier than the other one, but not by, you know, it's not, they're very glossy. It's not the really slick glossy. So I've got a couple of, you know, flowering books. This one is matte. There's no gloss. So for anybody that might be looking, might be needing more flower images for your tags and things like that, I'll have these. So I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going to have. Hey, Mousy Deb. I know you. Everybody's going to want one. And so I don't know if we'll sell them all Wednesday or if we'll hold some over until Saturday, or maybe wait until Saturday. We'll see. This is the other magazine they had, and this one was a little more costly. And this is January 1918. And it's big. Let me zoom back a little bit. Let's see. This way. Yep. Today's housewife. She's got her little Red Cross bag there, packed a lunch, a school lunch. And so we've got to that one. And these are in pretty good condition too. I went back over there today just hoping and praying that maybe she had put more out, or he, it may be a he, but there weren't any more. I know, the sci-fi, isn't that funny? It's like, I don't remember getting that one, but it was in there. And these are in really great shape too. You don't have all the tears and stuff around the edges. So I was really pleased when I saw these. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep a couple and share the rest. And there's today's housewife. Doesn't that look like she's so exhausted from working at home all day? This one's February 1917. And then we have the housewife from August 1916. And you can see all of these are in really physically great condition. And then for those of y'all that just popped in, oh, I know. You want the Amazing magazine. Okay, I won't offer it to my son-in-law then. They have some more of those. I didn't pick any more. The back cover to this one is missing, but the front cover is in really great shape. But the back one's torn away. These don't have covers. The front and the back are gone, but the pages are in really awesome condition. And we'll flip through these. I've got some really wonderful images. On Wednesday, I'll have my desk cleaned off. I've already been looking at ways I can improve my desk space. That's on my agenda to get done right away. I'm going to try to get rid of this tripod. I was looking at my space and I have a window behind me right there. But I thought if I get something that I could put a shelf on that goes across the window that can be screwed to. I know you do, Karen. Well, that's the norm for toilet scrubbing. That's when I wear mine. And the high heel, you know, the 4-inch, 5-inch heels. But I'm hoping I can find something, and then I can screw. This has got the light on it. And then my camera is mounted right there. So I want to get this tripod with the light out of my way. And I'm going to get, this is just a countertop, laminate countertop. And it's the standard width of a countertop, but I'm going to get probably a 1/2-inch plywood and have it cut so that it's about 4 inches wider than this. So it'll give me about 4 more inches. So when I'm working on stuff, I'm not crammed. And then I've got this is a dictionary that's about 5 inches thick that my monitor's sitting on. So I'm hoping I can find some sort of box, really sturdy box, that I could put that on, and then I could have storage underneath for stuff that winds up all over the top up here. So those are the things I've been looking at and thinking, okay, this is what I've got to do to be able to work a little bit better. And then over, I always do it wrong. That way. No, it's actually the other way. It's that way. I have my laptop, and it's sitting on a really old dictionary that's about 6 inches thick. So those two dictionaries are going to get made into page packs. That's right. I need all the heel I can get because I'm so short. I've always wanted to be 5'9". One of my daughters is 5'9". The other one's short like me, and she hates it. So let me get these out of the way. Put those back in that bag. Don't want anything to happen to them. I need to stay in really good condition. Well, if you read some of the old magazines, it's amazing. Some of the advice they give you. All right, come on. All right, you came out of there. One of the things I've got too is, I'll grab it in just a second. I've got some quilts. I've got 2 quilts that are in the yellow family. And they're really precious. And they're a little grungy, a little tattered. They're tattered enough that I won't feel bad about cutting them up. So I need for you guys to tell me Wednesday if you're interested in a whole quilt or if you want bits and pieces. So this is one. These are nice summer weight quilts, so they're not big and thick and bulky. But I believe, I'm not 100% certain, so I can't say for certain, but to me this looks like a flour sack or feed sack. But this alternates with the little sunbonnet girl. She's got the hands on it, and there's little French knots across the bonnets. So there's a row that runs up with those, and then the alternating it's a diagonal too. It's not a straight up and down. Have the butterflies, and they have different names on it. So I was thinking about cutting in a way where you could get either butterfly or you could get both. I mean, there'll be a good bit, but I've been toying with how to cut that out. But it's got some really pretty colors, and then the back is all this really pretty yellow fabric, and it's hand quilted. I can't tell until I take it apart if it's machine stitched, but looking at some of the blocks, to me it looks like it's hand stitched, hand quilted. But again, until I start taking it apart, I can't really tell. So that's one of them. And this one is in the yellow family too. And the back, I don't know if that's supposed to be, it looks like a yellow fabric, but then it's got the aging around it too. But this one is going to be big squares because the Dresden plate that's in there is fairly large. Hey Karen, how are you? Let me tell you, I told Karen Jacksonville, because I thought it was you for a minute, your box, one of your boxes is super heavy. So instead of sending it out on Saturday, I'm going to, I held off. I'm going to take all 3 boxes and redistribute everything, because those 2 album yearbooks are really heavy. So I don't want 2 of those in one box for John to have to deal with when he picks them up. So I've been showing everybody what I've got. You'll have to go back a few minutes. How many minutes, guys? How long have we been on here? 23 minutes. And see, I've got the Italian papers. I've got McCalls Magazines. Hey, Tina. I have something for you, Tina. Well, I did. It was right here. Where did it go? Here it is. Apparently, this didn't make it into your bag. It was one of the giveaways because it's got your name on it. So I'll get that out to you. If you buy something, I'll stick it in with that. If you don't, it's okay. I'll make sure that goes out anyway. And then I have one for Mindy too. Mindy O. So they got stuck over to the side instead of put in the proper place. Another one of the reasons for the reorganization here. But I have McCalls Magazines and Today's Housewife and The Housewife magazines from the early 1900s. So I've got those. I've got Italian papers that I'm going to cut. And I've got these quilts that I'm showing. I have more books that I need to sell. I need to move some of the books. I don't want to have to move them into storage and then bring them back. In my cleaning out and trying to figure out what to do with certain things, I found these laces I had gotten a few months ago, and so just a quickie way to try to put them in a pretty way to sell. These are on some cards that I sold before, and you'll see it more in just a minute. So I've got this particular lace or trim. I've got this one, and they got the little tiny, you can see the little this is that diamond paper that I sold, cardstock that I sold a long time ago. So I've got some of those. I've got this one, that pretty? So I just cut 1 yard pieces and put them on these cards. There you can see the card a little bit better. Got that trim. It's not a lace. It's got a little scalloped stitched edge there. But I thought that would be so pretty to be able to stamp on or stencil a border on. I'm moving stuff out of my room. I would be totally embarrassed if any of y'all walked into this house and came into my room. It looks like a hoarder house. It really does. And the marathon sales I had just really caused a space problem. And so what I decided to do, I had been thinking about different things for a while. How could I do different things? So that's all of those. I have a couple more. I just haven't gotten them done yet. So I'll have those. That's something different. So what's going to happen is I've got 2 storage units, a 10 by 10 and a 5 by 10. And I'm going to get a 10 by 20, which is actually cheaper than the 2 units that I've got now. So I'll actually be saving money. And I'm going to set it up in a way so that I have a reasonable, hey, Michelle, a reasonable workspace there. So when I'm going to put things together, I can go over there in the evening and do it there instead of having to have things here. Then I'll just be able to bring things here when I'm going to have a sale. And whatever doesn't sell, I'll figure out what to do with it at that point. But I've got to do something different because it's gotten out of control and unmanageable, and everybody here is unhappy about it. See what I got, Michelle? I had a Patty moment. It didn't last long, but I had a Patty moment for a little while. So I will have these on Wednesday and Saturday. Let me move these out of the way. And I found somebody that had Tim Holtz fabrics. And they found 3 more. So I'll be getting 3 more fabrics. I don't know that I'll get them next week, but I'll be getting them. So y'all excuse the mess. Just gonna push it over there. So I'll show you these. I have 3 yards of this one. And I'm going to put you back down so you can see the fabric a little bit better. How are you doing, Lorna? I saw your new digi. I love your digis. I haven't been buying many right now because I don't have a good printer to print them with. Hey, Liz, how are you? And this one's going to be a hot one, I know, and I'm keeping a little bit for myself. And there are 2 pieces of this one, so I think it's a total of 5 yards, the sewing instruction. So I've been gathering these from this lady, and I didn't have them when I had the last sale. They came in right afterwards. And this is the Vogue Rose, or I think it's called Vogue Rose. Hey, Sherilyn. You can pop in and chit chat if you want to. I sent you the link. And this is City Maps. I think it's called City Maps. Some of these that I only have 3 yards, I'll probably only keep like a half of a yard and not a whole yard. Oh, this is more of the Vogue Rose. There were three pieces of that. So I've got a lot of that one. Okay. And then there's this piece. And so this is all of the Tim fabric I was able to get. I do have, like I said, I've got 3 more pieces that'll be coming my way, but it'll probably be the next sale that I'll have those. And then I got these because I had never seen these designers before, and it's small amounts. I just took a chance on things that were small. This is 2 yards. Isn't that pretty? It's a rusty color. And there was this one. I thought this one was pretty. And this would be good to do borders. You've got all kinds of borders you could get out of that one. And this is these are quilting fabrics, and I don't know these designer names because I'm not into the quilting. So I've got 4 yards of that one. And then I picked this one. I got this one from them because I thought these were cute, and these could actually be little use cereal box or something like that and make a journal covers with those. Let me see how we can see more of it without having to unroll the whole thing. So you've got a Labrador in a lot of these, but not all of them. A black lab. And there's some other fabrics I'm going to get on this go around, because if I'm going to have to pay for a flat rate box, I'd rather make sure it's full. And so there are other designer quilting fabrics, so we'll see. She's supposed to let me know what'll go in the box. And I picked this one up at Hobby Lobby just because. Yeah, it is. I used to make everything, sew everything, but not anymore. But I have decided after going shopping, I may have to start making my own clothes again. And then I have this one. Everybody seems to like the farm stuff. Isn't that cute? You got your cows and your chickens and your roosters and your sheep and your pigs and your trucks and your barns. So I got a little bit of that one. So I'm trying to think of what else I got. I'm going to have a bunch of these stickers again because I'm going to find the box that I have in storage because I need to get that out of the way. And I'd rather the stickers be out there where they're going to be used than sitting here. I did come across, and they were a reasonable price, some of these computer punch cards. So I picked up a few of those. And like I said, I've got tons and tons and tons of books. And now here, I didn't bring this out the other day, and I meant to, I just forgot. I bought this because I wanted the napkins. So if somebody likes this, I'll sell that reasonable price because I don't need it. But I wanted the napkins. Aren't those cool? So now I have this thing and nowhere to put it. I keep waiting. I keep listening and listening for them to tell me they're having birthday cake. But I'm not hearing anything. It's going to be sad when they come home tomorrow and the cake's half gone. All right. I have tons of other old vintage paperworks and things, but they're over there under some other things. See what else I can find. I have some. I'm going to try to. I was going to launder these, but our washing machine has been on the fritz. So I think what I'm going to do is just hand wash them. They were supposed to deliver the new washing machine last week. And my daughter was so upset. Okay, I thought it was inside out, but it's not. It's got little teeny tiny snaps on it. So I don't know if somebody redid that or if they did it with the snaps, but it's a little like an overdress, a net overdress. And some of these are doll clothes, but some of them are baby clothes. So I'm just going to launder them by hand and press them. Yeah, this is a doll one. See how tiny? And it's got a few little issues. But that lace is nice, and the fabric is really nice, and you've got a lot of nice lace on the end down here too. So I have these. I've had them, but like I said, I haven't been able to get them washed. This is a doll, like a doll christening dress. I know, isn't that fun, Mousy? I just bought a little bit because I knew a lot of people would like that. The farm thing is so popular now. Here is a little skirt for a doll. This is another little christening dress for a doll, or preemie. I mean, some of these, if there's a preemie, if you've got somebody that's got a preemie, would work. This is for a doll, but look at this lace. And then it's got, you know, I'm going to lay it this way. That's how long it is. And then you've got all that lace on the end. So I know a lot of these things get used just for the lace and stuff and the fabric. This is another doll dress that's that long. There's no lace on it, but this fabric is pretty. It's got the little tucks up here with the stitching. So I've been meaning to do these, and I want to go ahead and get these out of the way. I'm really going to work hard this next couple weeks to get my room where it can function and actually do something in it besides move stuff around, because that's all I really do. I've got this binder. I've got several binders. And tons and tons and tons of stuff. Let me see what I can find that's different. I just dumped all of my sewing things into here, and I think what I'm going to do is put together some packets. I've got the spools, I've got the seam binding, I've got the other kind of seam binding, and all, you know, other things. So I think I'm just going to put together some things with that, but this may go to storage before I get that done. I don't know. We'll see. I have a lot of ribbon I need to get rid of. Let me pull this over here. All right, I showed everybody the lace I already put on card. Bring it back over so I can show you what I'm talking about. I have these cards, so there's 4 of this invitation size card, this cardstock, and I just wrapped a yard of different trim around the cards and held it on there with the little teeny tiny clothespins. So I've got those ready. I've got this one to do. Now you can see on the other one, it had the other edge was scalloped. And apparently she cut these down. But I'm going to go ahead and do these as well. So I have some of those, not a ginormous amount, but a good bit. And then there's this one to do as well. So y'all let Jennifer Jane know that I'm going to have orange. But I thought that was pretty. That would make some really nice pockets. He was great. I think that I do have Better Homes and Gardens. I don't know where it is, but it could very well be here. Let me see what this one is under my chair over here. No, this one is, I know I've got at least one. So I was thinking about taking these out and bundling these up. Maybe not the snakes and stuff, but you know, the pretty ones. And then selling the binder. The binder is not as big as the others. It is, well, help if I use the ruler the right way, 8.5 by 9 5/8, and the spine is just about 2.5 inches. So it's smaller than some of the other binders. And then that one with the creating keepsakes is a nice horizontal one. So if you're wanting to do a horizontal, this one is 10.5 by almost 9, 1/8 of an inch off 9, 7/8, and then a 3-inch spine. So it's just all depends on what you know what you're wanting to do. So I've got those two binders, but I know I do have Better Homes and Gardens. It's just not here. Keep saying excuse me, the dust. I got my Braille book. Let me bring you back down. From Patty. And so I don't know if I can get this done by Wednesday, but I'll try to get it done by Saturday to take it apart and have some pages to share. Because I think I counted 120 pages in here, and or maybe 160, I don't remember. I have to count again. But I'll come up with some pages to share out of here because I don't need that many. I don't want to sell them all, but I want to keep a healthy amount, but then share some of them too. So I'll try to get that ready. And then I was thinking about using this and making a not a journal, but a binder to hold embellishments and things. I know, isn't this crazy? It's crazy pretty. I was showing this to Liam and trying to explain to him. And so he would close his eyes and feel the dots. And he said, I don't read anything. And it's like, well, you have to learn how to read the dots. So that was funny. I've got this. I just picked it up on a whim because I thought this is awesome to have all these little images. And it's all about Chianti. And I was reading about this company. They just got bought by another company. I was trying to find information to see if they had more of these. But it's all about the different wineries that create Chianti. Whose sale's Wednesday? Somebody else is having a sale? I tried to figure out and see if anybody else was. Who's having a sale on Wednesday? Or y'all talking about my sale? It's 7. I have to have a little bit of time after Liam's parents get home. Some days I can get things done. Other days I can't. It just depends on what kind of day we're having. You know, with a little one like that, it's hard to plan. So I will have these. I think they're probably still under copyright, but I would think that you could scan it and print something to use in your own personal things if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to frame it, if you're into the wine, you know, wineries and different wines, they're beautiful prints that would be really pretty framed. All villas in wineries in Italy. In Italy. Or Italia. I want to go back. I didn't get to see enough. I want to go spend 6 months in France and Italy. Trying to think what else I can show you that I can get to. I have things in the floor where I've been sorting. Yeah. Okay, here's the box. I do have a lot of those vintage images that I was doing several sales ago. Oh, I do have more of the fabric sample books. So you guys let me know if you're interested in those, and I'll have some of them ready. Just let me move these things out of the way. Do you know, y'all are just about the kindest people I've ever met. They have never met you. You know what I'm saying? To not have ever met face to face. It's just such kind groups out here in the crafting world. Let me get these out of the way. You'll be able to see the Timmy fabrics again. I thought this one was really pretty. Actually, I think all fabric is really, almost all fabric is really pretty. But you got great rows to use. Here we're going back through the Tim Holtz. I got a couple things from Johnny today that I haven't found before. So I'll have these. I will have some of the other fabrics that I had. I am cutting a lot up in pre-cutting them into fat quarters. So I'll have some of those ready to go. I did find some other napkins that are a little bit different today. They're a little more expensive. People at the antique malls think their napkins are really awesome. All right, what just fell? My keyboard? Okay. I picked up a couple of little things like this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to take this apart or if I'm going to have an auction. And I really want to iron this lace though. Let me bring you back down so I don't have to hold everything up so high. So there's the little quilted heart. Here's a really pretty piece of vintage lace. There's this piece, and you can see where it must have been a tie. And I really want to press that out and see if it presses out okay. Because it's this, either it was used as a tie on something or it just got all twisted up. It's that little lace. So I'm going to see how that comes out. Here's this little piece. I know. These are the things I want to put back and hoard, but until I actually use some of this stuff I've been hoarding already, I need to just share. This was a long collar. Must have had a long neckline on the dress. You can see there's 2 layers of lace. And this must be where the, you know, the front. That's over. It's almost a yard. It's 28 inches. I moved my camera and I'm wishing I hadn't. And here's another piece. This is over a yard. And it's funny because I've bought some things that I found on the marketplace in other cities, not close by where I could pick up. And I've asked them to ship, and then I've gotten them hooked on the regional boxes to make the shipping cheaper. So I thought that was rather funny. And then there's this piece. This has got some wear and tear, but it's still overall in pretty decent shape. So this one, and there's this little box. I'm not going to pull it all out. Oops. Whoop. And I've been looking for some other tins to, to do some things up in tins, but I haven't found anything. I saw some cigar boxes today, and you guys can tell me if $5 is bad for. I feel like it's awfully high for a cigar box, but and they weren't all that special. So here is a piece of really grungy muslin, or it may be flour sack. Let's see, I'm trying to separate these because there's more than one thing. She puts these together so cute. Yeah, here we go. This is a little set. Isn't that pretty? Stand that up and get that out of the way. Okay, tell me what's a great idea. Do a kit with those bits. Which bits? All the laces? I hate to take this apart. I literally got it and put it over there and just didn't have time to do anything with it. She took a grungy little sock and made a little hanger out of it and put a little bling on it. What's it got in it? I know. Oh, money in the sock. And a little doily with a button. When I was there today, that little antique mall is not as close to me as the other one. There's another one that's closer, but it's bigger. And so when I go to my daughter's, I go over there and look around. But they've got a girl that's been doing journals, and they're not journals like everybody out here in these groups are doing. They're just like, she took some old linens and did like a cover to slip over a notebook. It is a sock. It is a grungy, dirty little tea-stained sock. It is right side out. I thought it was inside out for a minute. It is a little sock, and she just put a little hanger on it. It's a lady in Beaufort, South Carolina. And you find all kinds of people that are like me, trying to make ends meet, and they're doing fun things with tattered old things. So this is what she sent. A piece of old quilt. Do I need to come? Yep. A little piece of a crochet doily. I don't know what this is supposed to be other than, oh, it's got a little, looks like a little teeny tiny buckle on it. And then it's got a little cross and a anchor on it. So it was probably some sort of Sunday school pin. And then there's all this little bitty lace that needs to be pressed. But it's fun. It's fun to see what somebody else puts together. Oh, well, this lady, I'll have to give you her name. She has some cute stuff. She puts it out on Facebook Marketplace. I don't have anybody here. They all think I'm mad. Mad, mad, mad. Insane. I could just sit and watch TV all day. I've never been able to do that. Except when I had surgery. And then I wasn't really watching TV. I was watching YouTube videos. I've never been a TV fan. There are a few shows I would watch, but not many. Some tatting. I do too. I know. I donated a lot to my one of my aunt's church, but it was all just fabrics and things like that. And so they used that, made quilts. And she actually, I had Christmas fabrics, and I was used to do tree skirts, but then I just got too busy. And this is over a yard of this pretty lace. Looks kind of like it's showing up yellow on there, but it's more of like an apricot pink, not yellow. And it's almost true on YouTube. If your YouTube is showing it kind of peachy apricot-y color, that's the right color. So this is what I got in the mail one day, and it was just fun because I really didn't know everything that was going to be in there. But it was a lot more than I thought I would get. And it's just bits and pieces that can be used. I don't know what these are, but there's several of these. I think they're made with grasses. So if I can find at least 110, I've got one up on a shelf up there. If I can get it down, I don't know if it's deep enough. I might put one of these together in a tin and auction it. So I'm just showing you some teasers and giving you an idea of what we're going to have. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if I can do this way. Where are you guys? You're too far from me. I want to go. My cousin that I do things with from time to time, she's the one that had a heart attack a few weeks ago, and she's doing great. But I was talking about wanting to make some trips to go picking and thrifting, and she said, well, I don't know if I want to leave Alex on the weekends because he's in his 80s and he's still working every day. We're just going to have to come in that direction. I've always wanted to go to Charleston. Always. I want to go to the gardens in the spring. There's a pretty little quilted piece. So this was just a little thing she put together. And I'm going to tell you, it was $15, and all of this was $15. So, plus shipping. So it was more than 15. But if I had been close, I would have run over there and picked it up. But she got so excited, she sent me a PM saying, my boxes, I got my boxes. Because as a seller, it helps her to be able to offer, cheaper shipping. And I've got a guy who's supposed to be sending me leather pieces, but he keeps not doing it. So I'm going to send him a message and say, you just really don't love me, do you? I don't know what this is supposed to be. Unless this, I don't know. That's beyond me. looks like an armhole there, but then how do you keep that up unless you pin it onto the dress? But look at that lace on the shoulder of that little sleeve. Isn't that pretty? Oh, we haven't seen that happen here. We were going to go to the zoo, take Liam and go to, my cousin and I were going to take Liam and go to the zoo. And then they had all this rioting in downtown Atlanta again. So we won't be doing that. And I try not to worry. I pray for my grandson that lives downtown. And thankfully, he and his girlfriend have both been able to work from home. If not, he would be going into that every day, into that area. Well, y'all have to give me a big heads up because I have to make sure my daughter or son-in-law can take some time off. Oh, look at this one. Let me find something to put it on where it'll show up. Isn't that pretty? Why not part with that one? That's pretty. Oh, I did find this book. If anybody's interested in larger pages to use. This particular book is under copyright because it's a reprint or images to frame. I've got a ton of quilting pieces, like that jar of circles that I picked up. And then I've got all kinds of other pieces. And when I get things set up in storage, I'm going to be able to sit down and do packs that have all different kinds of quilting pieces in it. So this little piece was in there. It's got some coloration on it. And then there's this piece. It's rather odd. But we don't have to waste anything, do we? I am too. I was supposed to go on vacation. My cousin and I were going to go to the beach. And then the pandemic hit and we didn't get to go. And I still feel majorly cheated. Okay, so here's the tea towel. It's like a damask. I don't know if you can see the pattern in it though. Let's see. If I turn this light off, it may make it worse. It's not wanting to show up very well. So you've got the pattern across the bottom, and you've got the little interwoven pattern through the towel, and then you've got this cute little lace. Look at that on both ends. That's pretty. So that's what was in that one. I couldn't believe it. So I may mix and match and put together some things from all the goodies in here. If not for this sale, then for the next. Because I've got a big bin full of different laces and things. I don't have a tremendous amount of any one lace, but I've got a lot of different laces, and I'm going to try to go through those and get some bags or something put together, or just put them on clothespins or something like that to get those to go away, because I have too many. So those. I know this is not as pretty as she had it. I'll have to work on that. And then here's the other one. I think that fabric went with this one. This is a little odd bod box. A little bow tie or hair bow, whichever you want it to be. A little piece of lace. A little doolally. some seam binding, some blue lace, a little naked baby, some rickrack, a crystal. Well, I just found, and some little Monopoly houses are in here, and then all different kinds of little laces. I thought it was just fun, so I just went ahead and got it. It's helping support somebody else. Oh, this is cute. It's got a little wooden star on it, a little quilted piece, and then they put a pin back on it, so you can wear it for a pin. Pretty piece of ribbon. I think I'm here in there eating cake. Cherries. I think they still have the iron-on stuff on the back. Some more lace. Some little bows. She did a great job yesterday. Here's a little piece of bandana. I'll never get this back in there the way it was. Little ribbon roses. Whoops. Oh, that's a carnation. I know it can be hard on the back. Just sitting in my back. I sat most of the time, Sherilyn, and I found my back hurt more than if I stood. And this is just a little cream jar. Apparently, maybe the lid got broken. But what a cute little something to have on your desk to throw little things in. And it's got some wooden buttons and a little piece of a lace tucked in there. This is a bell. It still works. With some buttons tucked in it. I think she had a red thing going on here. A little piece of lace. See, it's just fun to unpack something like this. Just a little piece of chenille. So I think it would be fun to take and put together some little boxes and then have a contest to see what everybody could make out of their box. What do you think? Here's a little bit of ticking. Now, if there's anybody out there that I haven't said hi to, forgive me. I've gotten so wrapped up in looking at these things and showing off these little things that I haven't paid attention if somebody else might have hopped on. How are you, Allison? So this is a nice little strip of fabric. So what do you think of that idea, putting together? I can't do it right now, but maybe in the future, put together a little kit and just see what everybody can make out of it. Let's see, that's not going to be as pretty. I'll have to cover it up. Now, I've got a bunch of these. I got them from the girl I got some other stuff from, several bags. And this is lace that's been tied on with a piece of embroidery floss. So let's see. See if I can get it back together where it doesn't look too bad. A spool of thread. See, this little thing was in here. The bell with the buttons was in here. The roses. I may have to work on this later. But she had a red theme going on with a little bit of blue. So I'll have to work on that. But this is a French vocabulary cards box. Wish some of those were in there. So I'll pretty this back up later. But I just thought that was so funny to have that in there. Yeah, you'll have to go back. There's a bunch. There's some cool stuff. McCalls Magazines from the 1900s. I got some of the Italian papers. I'm going to cut these into a little bit more manageable sizes. And what else, guys? I'm forgetting. Oh, no quizzes. No quizzes. I've got 2 stacks. Oh, let's see. Let me just get the yardstick. All right. 20-inch stacks of books sitting on the counter of my other tabletop, my other desk. 2 boxes stacked right under the desk with books stacked on top of that. All kinds of books. Timmy fabrics. Did you see those, Michelle? And then I've got, there's something else, Timmy, that I have. And let me see. I think I threw it in this drawer. I was able to pick up a few of these. This is really I've got a few odds one-offs on Timmy stuff, but I picked up a few of these. I'm keeping some, but I've got 4 or 5 I'll be able to share those. I do have some inks. I went through, and I've got to go back through them again, but I've got some distress inks. Some of them have not been opened. I've got the unopened bottles of re-inkers on some. All kinds of books, Natalie, just everything. Old ones, some newish ones, some binders, some like this Redote. It's a new one, so it's not out of copyright. I've got the magazines, the McCalls Magazines. I've been picking these up when I go, just a few at a time. So I'm going to take and make paperclip packs with different things in it. So I've got butterflies, hearts. I've got doggies, flamingos, more hearts, kitty cats. Yep, I got several kitty cats, several puppies. So I would just, and some stars. So what I thought I might do is just make up some packs with different ones in it. That way you can have 3 or 4 of each one. To one of the, just one. It's only because I love you, Allison. I'll show you more. Maybe 2. What did I do with them? Okay. Because I love you guys. These are the only ones I've taken out of the paper, out of the plastic to show tonight, because I'm trying to keep them, because they are old. You can see this one has got a little issues. The cover's loose, but all of the pages and the page edges are in really great shape, and the color is really vibrant. And so we don't have any of the little, you know, broken up edges on any of the pages. They're all in really great shape. So I pulled a few out so I'll be able to show them off. Look at those. So this is the McCall Pattern Company magazine. Aren't you glad you didn't have to wear clothes and walk like that with your belly all stuck out and your butt back? I have about 20. I'm keeping one, only one, and I've given Sherilyn and Katie, because they're always there to mod for me, first dibs on them choosing one. So And I think I had 23, so that makes 20. So I'll have 20. Trying to get that. But you see, all the edges are in great shape. It's just that some of the covers have a little bit of wear on the edge. And look at this one. I think that's so pretty. And again, you know, just a little bit on the edge, but all of the sides are in really, really great shape. A couple of them have a few little tears on the back. So we're up to 1907. And then I think we jump to 19, where are you? These are 1907. In the bags, they go up to 1917. So none of them are still in copyright. I don't think anybody ever really had to waste that little. And then you get into the ads. $1907. Again, the side. Yep. These are the only ones that I had out of the plastic. There's the plate. This one doesn't seem to have a color plate in it. That's unusual because all the others did. So I'll take one of these out and let you see it. And these are 1917. And you can see that one right there. And we were discussing earlier about that's how we all dress to scrub the bathrooms and to clean the toilets. This is today's housewife. Good night, Michelle. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. And she has a little pillow to put her foot on. Her dainty little foot. Isn't that funny? Aren't you glad you didn't have to wear that? I am. I'm glad I didn't have to wear gloves. I can remember when I was little going to church being forced to put on gloves, but that didn't last long because they always got so dirty. So let me put these back so they stay where they're not going to get bumped around. So I showed 2 quilts. You'll have to go back and look. I showed the Timmy fabric. So if you're interested in Tim Holtz fabric, you'll have to go back and watch that. I have this quilt top. I have another quilt top that's in my car. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. But Wednesday night, we'll decide whether we're going to cut the quilts up or if somebody wants to, if there's enough interest in cutting it up so that I'm only left with 1 or 2 pieces, I'll cut it up. But I don't want to cut 1 or 2 pieces out and have a quilt left that's cut up. So I know you understand what I'm talking about. Yes, mine were too. Unfortunately, I was a tomboy and there was nothing they could do about it. So I'm going to go, ladies. I hear them in there. They're going to have cake without me. Then I'll have to feel guilty for slipping the box out of the refrigerator. So I love you guys. I hope you all have a great night and a great week. And I will see you all on Wednesday, I hope. So good night, all.